Steven Bartlett starts the book by redefining the meaning of success, and this is where we'll begin too. Success, for most people, is a checklist handed to them by society: earn a lot of money, gain fame, climb the corporate ladder, or have the perfect lifestyle. Steven admits that he once fell into this trap, building a multi-million-dollar business in his 20s. Yet, he found himself miserable. He shares a pivotal moment when he realized that despite his financial achievements, he felt disconnected and unfulfilled. This forced him to step back and ask, what does success actually mean to me? For Steven, success shifted from external accolades to creating meaningful impact, helping others, and enjoying the journey rather than obsessing over the destination. A relatable example he shares is how he stopped comparing himself to others in his industry. Early in his career, he would constantly measure his progress against competitors, which drained his energy and self-worth. He eventually learned that his unique path couldn't be compared to anyone else's. This is a reminder for all of us: chasing someone else's definition of success will only leave you feeling lost. Instead, focus on what matters to you, whether it's spending more time with family, pursuing a passion project, or making a difference in your community. Another powerful lesson from the book is the importance of focusing on what you can control. Steven shares an anecdote about the early days of his company, Social Chain, when a major client unexpectedly pulled out of a deal. His team panicked, blaming market conditions and the client's changing priorities. Steven, however, stayed calm, reminding his team that they couldn't control the client's decision, but they could control how they responded. They doubled down on improving their processes and pitching to new clients, which ultimately led to landing an even bigger contract. This principle applies to everyday life too. Imagine you're stuck in traffic, running late to an important meeting. You can't control the traffic, but you can control your response, whether you let frustration ruin your mood or use the time to prepare mentally. Steven emphasizes that redirecting your energy toward what you can control not only reduces stress, but also makes you more effective in the long run. Failure, as Steven explains, is another crucial part of growth. He openly discusses the mistakes he's made, from business ventures that collapsed to personal relationships he neglected. One story that stands out is about a tech product his company launched, which flopped spectacularly. The team had spent months and a significant budget building the product, only to realize too late that they hadn't truly understood their audience's needs. Instead of seeing this as a disaster, Steven used it as a learning opportunity, diving into customer feedback to identify where they went wrong. The lessons they gained from that failure informed their next product, which became one of the company's most successful launches. This approach to failure, viewing it as feedback rather than finality, is something we can all apply. Maybe you've started a fitness routine and struggled to stick with it. Instead of giving up, reflect on why it didn't work. Was the routine too demanding? Did you lack accountability? Adjust your approach and try again. Failure isn't the end, it's a stepping stone. Authenticity is another theme that runs throughout the book, and Steven is unflinchingly honest about his own struggles with it. Early in his career, he admits he tried to act like the stereotypical CEO, always polished, never vulnerable, projecting an image of perfection. Over time, he realized this wasn't sustainable, nor was it effective. When he began sharing his real thoughts, challenges, and emotions, people resonated with him more deeply. One striking example he shares is about a keynote speech he gave where he opened up about his anxiety. Instead of diminishing his credibility, it made the audience connect with him on a human level. This is a lesson we can apply in our own lives. Whether it's in relationships, the workplace, or even social media, staying authentic builds trust and connection. You don't have to pretend to have it all figured out. Sometimes, admitting your struggles makes you stronger in the eyes of others. Lastly, Steven highlights the underrated power of consistency. He explains that success isn't about massive, one-time efforts, but about small, deliberate actions repeated over time. For example, he shares how Social Chain didn't become a marketing powerhouse overnight. It was the result of years of consistent effort, daily meetings, incremental improvements, and relentless commitment to the company's mission. To bring this idea closer to home, think about your own goals. If you want to write a book, it's not about writing 50 pages in one day, it's about writing a little every day, even when inspiration is low. If you're trying to get in shape, it's not about doing one intense workout, it's about showing up consistently, even for a 20-minute walk. Steven reminds us that consistency compounds, and the small actions you take today lay the foundation for the life you want tomorrow.